Breaking the Chains of Illusion. A journey to reclaim reality. Once upon a time, in a not so distant future, the world had become a different place. Technology had taken its toll, transforming lives in unforeseen ways. Virtual reality had evolved from a simple form of entertainment into a powerful addiction that ensnared millions, blurring the lines between the digital and the real. In the midst of this digital maelstrom, a young man named Ryan found himself lost, trapped within the confines of his own illusions. Act 1: The Allure of the Virtual World. The story begins with Ryan, a bright and ambitious young man who had once harbored dreams of changing the world. He had a loving family, a supportive group of friends, and the potential to make a significant impact on society. However, it all changed when he first experienced virtual reality. One fateful evening, a friend introduced him to a new virtual reality game called ensnared. The allure was undeniable. It promised escape from the mundane, an opportunity to step into a world of limitless possibilities. Ryan, captivated by the immersive experience, donned the VR headset, and from that moment on, his life would never be the same. Act 2: A Life Consumed. As Ryan delved deeper into ensnared, reality outside the virtual world began to lose its appeal. He became increasingly detached from his friends and family, missing gatherings, neglecting his responsibilities, and dropping out of college. His grades plummeted, and his once bright future faded into obscurity. Ryan's addiction grew stronger, and he found himself spending every waking moment in ensnared. The virtual world offered him an identity he lacked in reality, a place where he could be a fearless hero, a brilliant strategist, and a charismatic leader. The lines between his virtual and real life blurred as he lost himself in the allure of the game. Act 3: Consequences Unveiled. Ryan's addiction had consequences, far-reaching and profound. His relationships with family and friends disintegrated, leaving him isolated in a cold and unforgiving world. His physical health deteriorated as he neglected self-care and lost touch with reality. He gained weight, suffered from sleep deprivation, and became a recluse, fueling his addiction. His financial situation became precarious as he squandered his savings on in-game purchases and subscriptions. The promise of achievement in ensnared kept him hooked, but it came at an immeasurable cost. Ryan was spiraling down a dark abyss with no end in sight. Act 4: A Glimpse of Redemption. One day, while navigating the labyrinthine depths of ensnared, Ryan stumbled upon a group of players who called themselves the Renegades. They were an eclectic mix of individuals who had once been ensnared by the virtual world but had managed to break free. Together, they dedicated themselves to helping others overcome their addiction. Amidst virtual battles and strategic missions, the Renegades offered Ryan a lifeline. They recognized his struggle and reached out, offering support and guidance. It was the first glimmer of hope he had seen in a long time. Act 5: The Road to Recovery. Ryan reluctantly decided to join the Renegades, not yet fully aware of the journey that lay ahead. Breaking free from the allure of ensnared was no easy task. It required immense effort, unwavering determination, and a complete transformation of his perspective. The renegades introduced Ryan to a real-world support system, where he attended therapy and counseling sessions, reconnected with his family, and began rebuilding relationships with the friends he had abandoned. Day by day, he faced the demons of his addiction, learning to distinguish between the virtual world and reality. Act 6: Battles Within and Without. As Ryan's journey to recovery continued, he discovered the inner strength he never knew he possessed. He faced intense withdrawal symptoms, moments of despair, and the relentless allure of Nexosphere. The battle was not only against the virtual world but also against himself. The renegades, his family, and friends offered support, sharing their own experiences and strategies for overcoming addiction. Together, they formed an unbreakable bond, and through their collective strength, Ryan was able to resist the temptation that once held him captive. Act 7: A New Dawn. Ryan's transformation was gradual but profound. He rediscovered the joys of reality, the laughter of friends, the warmth of family, and the beauty of the natural world. His physical health improved, and he embarked on a fitness journey that allowed him to shed the weight he had gained during his addiction. Re-enrolling in college, he began to pursue his dreams once more. The sense of purpose and passion returned to his life, replacing the void that Nexosphere had once filled. It was not an easy path, but it was one worth taking. With his own addiction conquered, Ryan became an integral part of the renegades. He used his experience to inspire and guide others who had fallen into the same trap. Together, they initiated programs to help those struggling with virtual reality addiction, aiming to bring back the spark of reality in their lives. Act 8: Reflection and Gratitude. As time passed, Ryan reflected on his journey. He recognized that his addiction had been a lesson, a struggle that ultimately led to his personal growth and a deeper understanding of the importance of balance in life. He was grateful for the support of the renegades, his family, and friends who had never given up on him. The story of Ryan and the renegades is a reminder that addiction, even in the digital age, is a formidable adversary. Virtual reality, with all its allure, has the potential to ensnare anyone. But it is also a story of resilience and the enduring human spirit, proving that it is possible to break free from the chains of illusion and reclaim one's place in the real world. Ryan's journey continues, as does the battle against virtual reality addiction, for it is a struggle that never truly ends. It serves as a testament to the power of hope, the strength of community, and the capacity of the human spirit to overcome even the most alluring illusions. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Breaking the Chains of Illusion. A journey from virtual reality addiction to triumph. As the first light of dawn pierced through the curtains, Mark awoke, groggy and disoriented. His room was shrouded in darkness, the only source of light emanating from the glowing screens scattered across his room. The flickering neon lights bathed him in an eerie blue hue as he lay tangled in a web of virtual reality cables. Mark had been here many times before, trapped in the world of virtual escapism, but today was different. Today, he decided to break free. The Abyss of Illusion. It all began with a gift from his friend, Charles, a state of the state-of-the-art virtual reality headset. Mark had heard all the hype about VR, but he'd never tried it before. Curiosity got the better of him, and as he donned the headset for the first time, he was transported to a world of wonder. The first few days were pure magic, an escape from the mundane routine of his life. But as the days turned into weeks, Mark's enchantment with the virtual world began to overshadow his real life. His job as a freelance web designer started to suffer. Deadlines went unmet, clients grew frustrated, and bills started to pile up. Mark's social life withered away as he retreated deeper into the virtual realm, choosing pixelated adventures over real-life connections. Mark's relationship with his girlfriend, Sarah, was the first casualty of his VR addiction. At first, she tried to be patient, understanding that Mark was merely exploring a new hobby. But as weeks turned into months, Sarah couldn't bear the emotional distance any longer. One evening, she confronted Mark, tears welling up in her eyes. "Mark, I miss you. I miss us," she said, her voice trembling. "It feels like you're slipping away, and I don't know how to bring you back." Mark, immersed in a gripping VR battle, barely registered her words. He muttered a distracted apology and returned to his virtual world, leaving Sarah to confront the loneliness that had gradually crept into their relationship. It was a Saturday morning when Mark's friends decided they couldn't stand by and watch him self-destruct any longer. They had tried to reach out, but he had brushed off their concerns. Now, they were planning an intervention. Gathering in his living room, Mark's closest friends faced him with stern expressions. Charles, the one who had introduced Mark to VR, spoke first. "Mark, we care about you, and we can't just watch you waste away in this virtual world. You've lost your job, your girlfriend, and even your sense of reality. It's time to break free from this addiction." The words hit Mark like a ton of bricks. For the first time, he saw the concern in their eyes, the worry etched on their faces. The realization that he had become a shadow of his former self began to dawn on him. The path to recovery. Mark's journey to recovery wasn't a smooth one. It was a struggle marked by fits of withdrawal, despair, and relapses. But his friends, particularly Charles, who had been down a similar path, stood by him. They organized support groups, where Mark could share his experiences and hear from others who had successfully broken free from VR addiction. "Mark, you have to understand that the virtual world is a powerful escape," Charles told him. "But it can't replace the richness of real life. Your dreams, your ambitions, your connections with people, those are real. VR is just a fleeting illusion. You need to focus on what truly matters." Mark listened intently, his determination to reclaim his life growing stronger by the day. He knew that the road ahead was a long and arduous one, but he was ready to take the first step. The first thing Mark did was to uninstall all his VR games and disconnect his headset. The physical act of severing the connection to the virtual world was liberating. He began to rediscover the real world around him. He got back in touch with his clients, offering sincere apologies and promising to make amends. It wasn't easy, but with hard work and dedication, he started rebuilding his reputation as a web designer. Mark also reached out to Sarah, who had moved on but still cared for him. They started as friends, rediscovering each other, and eventually rekindled their love. The relationship wasn't the same as before, but it was stronger and more grounded in reality. A new purpose. As Mark began to regain control of his life, he realized that he needed a new purpose, something that would keep him anchored in the real world. He decided to use his experience to help others struggling with VR addiction. Mark started a blog and a YouTube channel to share his story and offer advice on how to break free from the virtual abyss. His words resonated with countless people around the world who found themselves trapped in the same illusion. Mark's blog and videos offered a lifeline to those who felt alone and desperate. He became a beacon of hope, a symbol of triumph over addiction. Just when Mark thought he had left the virtual world behind, life threw him the ultimate test. A new virtual reality game, more enticing and immersive than anything he had ever experienced, was released. Mark's friends watched in trepidation as he faced the greatest temptation of his journey. For a moment, Mark hesitated. The memories of his past addiction, the allure of the game, all tugged at him. But then he thought of the people who had reached out to him for help, the trust they had placed in him. He couldn't let them down. With steely determination, he deleted the installation file and returned to the real world. Triumph. Years passed, and Mark's blog and channel continued to grow. He had saved countless lives and helped people break free from the chains of VR addiction. He had found his purpose, and it was a beautiful one. Mark also built a fulfilling career as a motivational speaker, sharing his story at conferences and events around the world. He had come a long way from the lost soul tangled in virtual cables. He was now a symbol of hope and resilience, an inspiration to those who sought a way out of their own illusions. The journey from virtual reality addiction to triumph had been a grueling one, filled with struggles and moments of despair. But Mark had emerged on the other side stronger, wiser, and with a profound appreciation for the beauty of reality. He had broken the chains of illusion and embraced the world with open arms, proving that no matter how deep one falls into the abyss, there is always a way back into the light. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Breaking free. A journey from virtual reality addiction to real-life triumph. It was a world within a world, a realm that blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. The virtual reality, VR, experience had become a way of life for Daniel, a young man in his early 20s. He was once a promising college student with dreams of a bright future, but the allure of VR had consumed him, taking him on a roller coaster ride of addiction and consequences. The dawn of a new addiction. The first time Daniel donned a VR headset, he was captivated by the immersive experience. The sensation of leaving behind the mundane world and entering a realm of endless possibilities was intoxicating. The virtual landscapes, the adrenaline, pumping games, and the endless social interactions all beckoned him. He started spending more and more time in VR, neglecting his studies and relationships. As the months went by, Daniel's life outside of VR began to deteriorate. His grades plummeted, and he lost touch with friends and family. The real world became a place of inconvenience, a waiting room between VR sessions. His apartment descended into chaos, and personal hygiene became a distant memory. The consequences of his virtual addiction soon caught up with Daniel. He was expelled from college, and his parents, deeply concerned, confronted him. But Daniel's mind was still trapped in VR, and he dismissed their concerns, believing that the virtual world was his true home. One day, while engrossed in a marathon VR session, a sharp pain shot through Daniel's chest. Panic set in as he realized that his physical health was deteriorating rapidly. He had neglected his body to the point of endangering his life. This was his wake-up call, a stark reminder of the real-life consequences of his virtual addiction. The turning point. Determined to break free from the grip of VR, Daniel made a courageous decision. He removed the headset, uninstalled all VR applications, and reached out for help. He knew he couldn't overcome this addiction alone, and his journey towards recovery began. Daniel joined a support group for virtual reality addicts, where he met others who had faced similar struggles. They shared their experiences, provided encouragement, and held each other accountable. With their support, Daniel found strength he didn't know he possessed. Recovery wasn't easy, but Daniel was determined to rebuild his life. He rekindled old friendships, made amends with his family, and focused on regaining his physical and mental health. Each day was a small step towards the real world. During his rehabilitation, Daniel rediscovered his love for art. He had been a talented artist before VR took over his life, and he decided to pursue his passion once again. Art became his therapy, allowing him to express his emotions and channel his energies in a positive direction. As Daniel continued to heal, he began to reflect on his addiction and its root causes. He realized that he had turned to VR as a means of escape, to avoid the challenges and insecurities of the real world. With the help of therapy, he confronted his demons and developed healthier coping mechanisms. The road to redemption. Daniel's journey was far from over. He applied to community college to continue his education, working diligently to rebuild his academic future. With the unwavering support of his family, he aimed to earn back their trust and make amends for the years lost to addiction. As Daniel progressed in his recovery, he developed a new perspective on technology. He understood that technology, including VR, could be a powerful tool for good, but it required balance and responsibility. He started volunteering at local schools to raise awareness about the dangers of technology addiction and promote its responsible use. With determination, hard work, and newfound purpose, Daniel graduated from community college and was accepted into a prestigious art school. He embraced the real world with open arms, cherishing every moment and every relationship. Daniel's story of transformation inspired many. He became an advocate for those struggling with technology addiction, delivering motivational speeches and sharing his journey with others. He reminded them that recovery was possible, and they could find their way back to the real world. The journey continues. As Daniel embraced his second chance at life, he knew that his journey was ongoing. He continued to pursue his dreams, nurtured his relationships, and remained vigilant about his technology use. His past addiction was a painful chapter in his life, but it had also shaped him into a resilient, compassionate, and empathetic individual. Daniel's story is a testament to the triumph of the human spirit over adversity. He had faced the darkest depths of virtual reality addiction, but he emerged on the other side as a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate person. His journey from addiction to recovery was a source of inspiration for those who had similarly lost themselves in the digital world. In the end, breaking free, a journey from virtual reality addiction to real-life triumph, is a story of redemption and resilience, a reminder that it's never too late to break free from the chains of addiction and embrace the beauty of the real world. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.